All right, welcome to this explainer. If you're a rural property owner, maybe a farmer looking to diversify, an eco-conscious builder, or even a prepper planning ahead, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're diving into the ultimate guide to an absolutely incredible, natural super resource. Let's get right into it. So I want you to really think about this question for a second. What plant can replace steel, grow up to 1 meter in a single day, and actively save our climate? Seriously, let that sink in. We're not just talking about some cute decorative plant for your backyard. We are talking about a high-performance, biological solution to some of the most pressing construction and climate problems we literally face today.
Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, the hidden power of bamboo. Then, versatility in civil construction, efficient planting techniques, the engine of the rural economy, and finally, carbon sequestration champion.
Okay, Section 1, the hidden power of bamboo, the ancient solution for modern problems.
You know, traditional construction and the conventional timber industry, they're kind of facing a crisis right now. They're slow, wildly expensive, and often completely disconnect us from the environment. We need an ancient solution for these modern problems. Now, looking at its global distribution, this plant, which actually belongs to the grass family, is native to almost every continent except Europe. Historically, especially in places like India, it's been called the wood of the poor. But honestly, that is a massive misconception. That doesn't mean it's low quality. It actually means it's an incredibly accessible, democratic raw material that anyone, regardless of economic status, can utilize to save natural resources and cut costs.
Let's formally define what we're working with here. Bamboo is essentially an ultra-fast-growing grass, and that's exactly why it regenerates with such astonishing speed. But hey, don't let the word grass fool you. It possesses physical and mechanical characteristics strikingly similar to wood. In fact, because of its peculiar physical structure, it can be a direct, low-cost substitute not just for wood and plywood, but even for heavy metals and synthetic plastics. No joke.
Moving on to Section 2, versatility in civil construction, replacing steel, wood, and concrete.
If you're a builder or a prepper wanting durable, ecologically balanced projects without spending an absolute fortune on hot, ugly, reinforced concrete, you're going to want to pay close attention. The applications are truly incredible. We're talking about entire houses, durable fences, beautiful pergolas, sturdy bridges, industrial scaffolding, and yep, even improvised survival shelters. The crucial point here is that bamboo's natural flexibility and immense tensile strength make it highly competitive with modern industrial materials. It's light, it's resistant, and it gets the job done efficiently while dramatically reducing your construction costs. And just look at the results. A sustainable bamboo house is a stunning visual reality. Going for a sustainable, low-carbon lifestyle absolutely does not mean you have to sacrifice beauty, safety, or comfort. It offers this warm, rustic aesthetic that cold, modern concrete just cannot match, all while being incredibly structurally sound.
And its versatility scales from the heavy-duty all the way to the highly elegant. You can build heavy-duty structural corridors using thick, woody bamboo, or, on the flip side, design delicate, elegant decorative lattice work. Whether you're laying down a rural road corridor or designing a beautiful garden panel, bamboo is basically the ultimate natural building block.
All right, Section 3, efficient planting techniques, from direct planting to the cut method.
So this is the action phase of our explainer, for those of you who want to start cultivating this right now. The cut method portrays bamboo propagation not as some complex agricultural science, but as a super simple, highly accessible life skill. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Cut 40-centimeter pieces from the thickest parts of the bamboo, making sure you leave at least one intact bud on the node. Step 2. Fill that hollow piece with water. Step 3. Seal it up with masking tape, and specifically biodegradable tape, not plastic, so it breaks down naturally right there in the soil.
Now, when you're preparing these seedlings in water, those intact buds and early shoots are going to start emerging. But here is a vital pro tip from our sources regarding the treatment process. Ants and termites absolutely love to target and lodge themselves right inside those buds. So careful selection and protection of these nodes is absolutely essential for a successful, healthy crop. Once they're ready, planting them in the soil requires a strategic choice. If you plant the bamboo cutting vertically, well, you encourage rapid vertical growth, which is great for quick landscaping. But if you make a thumb-sized hole, fill it with water, tape it, and plant it horizontally, that creates a fast-growing, dense underground web. And that horizontal web is absolutely phenomenal for retaining slopes and containing soil erosion on your property.
Of course, it's crucial to choose the right, resistant species. You basically have two main paths. Herbaceous bamboo, like Indian cane, is easy to control in pots or with simple physical barriers. This makes it ideal for rural hedges to keep livestock in check. On the other hand, woody bamboo, like Dendrocalamus asper, is what you need for heavy structural use and civil construction. But a quick warning, woody bamboo is massive. It requires at least 5 meters of spacing and must be kept far, far away from power poles and building foundations.
Section 4. The engine of the rural economy. Real profits and sustainable development.
Bamboo is a true engine of the rural economy, hitting this perfect sweet spot. It's economical, it offers massive social benefits by creating local jobs, and it is entirely environmentally friendly. The economic advantages alone are staggering because some species can grow up to 1 meter a day, reaching up to 30 meters in just 6 months. Your turnaround time is drastically reduced compared to timber. This allows for the optimization of really efficient rural cultivation. And the best part? It's a perennial crop. It sends out new shoots annually. That means once you plant it, there are 0 replanting costs after you harvest. It's an investment that yields real profits and pays dividends for decades with incredibly low maintenance.
For the everyday farmer, the utility is immediate. A rustic, highly functional fence can be built without buying expensive steel wire or treated lumber. Rural property owners can utilize their own cultivated bamboo to dramatically reduce their internal property costs and optimize their management. You're essentially growing your own infrastructure. It's absolute genius. Finally, Section 5, Carbon Sequestration Champion, Restoring Our Planet. Zooming out to the macro level, this is probably the most important takeaway for our planet's future. 80 kilograms. I really want to dramatize this number for a second. Through the process of photosynthesis, a single mature clump of woody bamboo absorbs roughly 80 kilograms of carbon from our atmosphere every single year. When you calculate the biomass of the culms and the sap inside, you realize this plant is literally pulling massive amounts of greenhouse gases out of the air and locking it away. And when you compare the bamboo cycle to traditional wood, it's not even a fair fight. Traditional timber takes decades to grow, and once you cut the tree down, the carbon capture stops completely, and you have to do a total expensive replanting. Bamboo, however, reaches full height in months. It regenerates annually on its own, and you can selectively harvest mature culms without ever killing the plant or stopping its carbon absorption. It is literally a superpower resource. The environmental benefits just keep stacking up. Not only does it sequester all that carbon, but bamboo also emits up to 35% more oxygen than many typical trees. Its dense root system actively prevents soil erosion, regenerates degraded land, and safely stores vast amounts of carbon right there in the underground biomass. So it doesn't just halt climate damage, it actively heals the ecosystem. Our source text beautifully frames this transition with a quote from Revelation. And he that sat upon the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new." We've gone through long cycles of destructive, environmentally disconnected industrialization. Bamboo represents a moment to make things new again. It's a tool for total economic and environmental renewal. So I'll leave you with this final thought and challenge. How will you integrate bamboo into your next rural or construction project? You now know its hidden power, its versatility, how to plant it efficiently, how it creates real rural profits, and how it acts as an 80-kilogram carbon champion. The next step is entirely yours. Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and honestly, I can't wait to see what you build.